Ready? Oh, oh.
And the DQ Smooth loves that bit. Loves
I've even forgot the intro already. It's like, hello everyone, hello everyone, and welcome to Yorkshire Tea XP, brewed in the heart of Yorkshire by three MFL-obsessed managers: myself, Big Mr. K, my friend Mr. Bruce Leet, and Mr. Rootcoors, who can't be asked anymore because he does a live with Hoodwink, so he doesn't bother anymore.
Yeah, don't care about us. Don't care about
No.
the community. Don't give a shit.
He's all about his sexy night lives that he now gets on with. And on cue, the dogs have been fast asleep all bloody evening. On cue, I start this, barking at the front door. Un momento.
There we
Noisy
go.
wolf. All good, all good. It's also because his mum, to be fair, has gone upstairs to go for a shower and stuff, and now he's formally protesting at the fact. So it's all good. It's what things happen. You've been doing. It's been a while since.
Oh, you keep cutting out, mate. No, you've gone dead. There's no sound. Ah, here we go. It's been too many weeks. Now we just cut. There we go.
Ooh, don't want echo. Go
Oh
away.
wow.
Fixed it.
There we go.
It shows how often I play with this mic. I was messing about with it. There's a mute button at the top, and there's a button at the front that does the sort of volume control, and you can make an echo on it. So I bet that sounded great for everyone.
Yeah, it was like you stood in a fucking hall.
Let's try that again. How you doing, mate? It's been a while since we jumped on the pod together.
I'm good, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's yeah, it's schedules getting together and being able to all be on, and it was like
Life.
This week, yeah, life, innit? It is just
Yeah.
life. And this week it was just sort of like, well, we've got to get something up this week.
Yeah.
Out of all weeks,
Yeah.
we've got to. But yeah, all good on this side. How about you, man?
Yeah, can't complain, man. It's school holidays, so anyone who's got kids, you're busy. You've got lots of plans. It was my missus's birthday yesterday, so I know originally. The irony, we were talking about the three of us all scheduling the pod, and I was like, yeah, on my way to work, I was like, yeah, fine, we could do Wednesday, lads, yeah, no worries. And then I think it was the following morning, I went, you know, I said I could do Wednesday. So my missus's birthday, I'd literally been a couple of hours earlier to go buy birthday cards, and then still forgot and got the days wrong. So then listed off a load of days, and then you corrected me and went, you've just suggested Wednesday again. I was like, for fuck's sake. But yeah, that's what working 9 days on the trot will do for you, I suppose. My brain was just mush. But yeah, all good, man. All good. In some cases, MFL, loving it. Other cases, still not a fan of the game engine. It is what it is. I know we're all getting on with it and stuff. I've got a problem, I'm telling you. I'm like a sadist. I still test, like, a ridiculous amount. It's like those friendly numbers that someone grabbed that time and Kev was near the top. I reckon would be competing. But also probably Dan LFC is probably near the top there because that guy's always testing. I'm telling you, with him being a staff member on my club, he's always on it. Mental. But yeah, all good, all good. So I think there's loads of things we could discuss today and loads of stuff we are going to discuss. But I think we'll just have a quick stop tour clubs, where we're up to, how's it going, how's it looking. Anything progression wise, because I think once we get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, we're probably not going to come back to anything about our agencies and stuff like that. So do you fancy jumping into yours first, bud?
I do. When you were talking about that as well, I just want to say, Tactics Corner. We haven't had Tactics Corner for a while. Yeah.
No.
But this engine is kind of difficult to do. Tactics
Boring.
Corner. Yeah, it's boring.
Sorry, boring.
Yeah, it's very boring. It's very difficult. Come next season with a new engine, everything I'm seeing of the new engine, all the new buttons and everything.
Yeah.
I imagine Tactics Corner is going to come back with a vengeance. So I know that is some people's favourite part of the pod. I just wanted to say it now because we're not going to cover it because this engine has just been shit. It's just do this, the end. What else can we say?
Well, yeah, we know what it is. We know its limitations. We've banged on about it for long enough. We're all dealing with the same engine, all the same things that we can keep repeating. Yeah, there's not a whole lot more I think we want to say on this engine in terms of tactically. So yeah, we'll just fire into it. So yeah, man, if you want to jump into any of yours, yeah, feel free to do so.
I'll just quickly go through my clubs. It's which one shall I cover? This one's just lots of commons in there, and they're just getting battered. I put them in there hoping people will progress. Literally no one has progressed. They're all like commons. They're all underpowered for the division. I was thinking, I'll get some. No one's progressed. Got myself a new license here, part exchange with Blades.
Nice.
In Los Angeles. It's one of the. I think this is probably the last license I'll want. I've got Kobe, I've got Milan, I've got Los Angeles, I've got Manchester, and I've got my serial number. I think other than maybe Philadelphia, I've no reason to buy it. So I think this will be it for my clubs. I don't think I need it more, other than stuff like this where I'm just like, I just want a club to just fill with dev players or whatever that I'll just mix and match as and when. But yeah, new club going well there with Lee. I think we'll talk about this a little bit more. That I'll cover these and then we'll come back to this one. The Yorkshire Tea XP. Wife's managing this one. Newton Heath smashing it in bronze. I'll be honest. I don't really want them to get promoted to silver. However, I also can't be letting Monkey beat me to the title. So I guess you can see which one's winning out there.
Yeah. You don't want these guys going up to silver, you're saying ideally. Can I look at the squad just to get an idea of why? I can imagine why.
It's an okay squad. But for silver, that'd probably struggle in silver. It'd do okay, but it'd probably struggle in silver.
You'd be scrapping with that team.
Scrapping, yeah. So it'd be like, just stay in fucking bronze. It'd be cool, but yeah, with Monkey in there, well, I can't be doing that. I've got to beat him to the title. We then move on to Trust the Process Philly B, which is really weird because this squad isn't actually this far away from the Newton Heath squad. Not massively. I mean, they've got a few better players in there, but generally it's not actually that far away, and I'm still 6th in this one. Just hoping for a progression, and I'm not getting it in these teams. It's really annoying. These 3 teams are just not getting the progression I want. Zaragoza are doing all right. We went on a string of draws, 5 draws in a row in the league, and it's knocked us down to 7th, but we're not losing, so it's cool. But the one thing I have to say is cups this season have just been shit.
I've not had a good one. I've not had a good one. I've not lost out so closely. Last day we missed out. This one, I think it was last day we missed out. This one we missed out by a point. Newton Heath, we're in a really tight division, and we lost out by a point on the final. Mamba scraped through, but this is the other thing is as well. I'm kind of gliding away, and I know Trust and Ron John won't like hearing this, but I am always a league first manager because I mean cups are great, going through cups and getting all the extra MFL is great. It's not consistent, whereas in my head league is consistent, so I'd rather stay in the league. Now if these teams were first, second, smashing it in the league, then okay, I can put a bit more effort into the cup. But it's like with this one, we're through to the next round of the cup, but with me sitting 9th, I'm kind of like, well, I kind of just want to bin off that cup game, because I'd rather focus on this. And what's even more brutal is when we come back, first 2 games, 1st and 2nd. So it's sort of like I've really got to put my focus into these 2 games, try and scrape something out of these games to pull us away from this relegation spot. So probably going to bin off that cup game. Sorry, Ron John. Sorry, Trust. I know you want the extra MFL, but I'd rather Mamba stay in Platinum. And then there's this team which is, I mean, we're doing what we're supposed to do. It's not as fun as it was with Black Sea last season. Not as fun as it was, and it's not because I'm losing. It's just because this squad is so much weaker. It's weaker than the Black Sea squad I had, and it's just with Mamba, they're an underpowered squad, but I can see how I can save myself. I'm like, yes, I can do this. I can save myself. With this, I'm sort of just. I've got to play 4-3-3-D. I've got players that don't really suit the 4-3-3-D. I've got really slow centre mids, and it's just I'm kind of stuck in it, and I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. So it's a bit like, ugh. However, I have said, if I keep this team up, then right here, the stadium, Meta Stadium, if I keep this team up, that stadium name is getting changed.
I'm naming the
Nice.
stadium after me. There is no... Because I think if I keep this team up, that is probably my biggest achievement ever in MFL. Because yeah, I don't know how I'm going to pull it off. I really don't. But, you know, it's up and down. Teams are where they're supposed to be, I think. You know, I'm not outperforming. I'm not underperforming. They're all where they're supposed to be. And that's kind of... It's kind of shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of...
Yeah. I feel like everyone's cottoned on now to precisely what this engine is, how to optimally play your tactics.
Yeah.
So everyone just plays the same way, rinse and repeat. And
Yeah.
it's basically, every time we do that, okay, you're going to get some upsets, you might not get some upsets, you get a lot of draws, you get a lot of... basically.
It's like, remember, I didn't expect the game against you, but it just out of nowhere. Games like that just happen out of nowhere. Oh, I'm playing a team that's challenging and I beat them out of nowhere. Like, okay.
Yeah.
But then I'll play bottom of the league and lose. It's just...
I tested so much a 4-3-2-1 against a 4-4-1-1 with scouting and looking at everything else. Set it all up. It tested brilliantly on the night.
Yeah, I scored every single shot on target. Like,
yeah, I didn't have a goal. I forgot to put a goalkeeper in net. That was the problem. But everyone's experiencing these in different amounts throughout the season. So yeah, all good. Right then. So which ones were they talking about? We'll start over here. Yorkshire Tea
cover
XP.
Yorkshire Tea. Cover Yorkshire Tea because I forgot about that.
Okay.
I was supposed to cover that,
we'll
but
do.
Cover that.
Yeah, all good. So Leeds license, second in Spark. I actually shifted out a lot of my best players in that team who were best suited to like ice. Because there was a lad, I can't remember who it was now. Oh, it might have been Nasher or someone who I've been speaking to for ages. He was trying to fill out his ice team. I looked at what he had, and I didn't give a monkeys about the rev on this team at all. So I was just like, well, if I lay them out, what do I need? And just loaned in, and some of these, like, look, 9%, 6%, 15%, 15%. I don't care. I just grabbed what I needed.
That's just
but whoever's
insane,
putting
Spark.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Anybody who's asking for these sorts of things, like 14, 15, 15, 9, yeah, hang your head in shame. It's disgusting. But to help someone else out who was really struggling to put a team together, my players would be better off playing in ice because some of them are quite young, like high uncommons, very low rares. I was like, let's do it. Who cares? And then it's made this season a bit more interesting with this team because I'm not just walking it because I have to actually think about what I'm doing. And some of the losses in this league are just head scratchers, but so's the engine sometimes. So I just chalk it up to that sometimes. Lip Biters doing all right in 5th. The Peacock Elite Nostalgia Icons down in 10th, but they've got a very weak team for ice, and it's all the retirees, so that's no fun. Dirty Leeds team is first in ice.
Shock! Have you lost a game?
No, we've drawn 4 though.
Jesus
Honestly,
Christ.
some of these draws are absolutely obscene, like how they've drawn. But hey, it's actually, when I looked at the strength of this team in this league, beginning of the season, there was like 6 of us who were like within a point of each other. It was a very close ice league. We thought, oh, cool, better progression then, nice. Of which, obviously, we've moved one of my guys from there to YTXP team because he's gone on a flyer. So, YTXP, it's been a bit of a struggle bus. I know you tried to throw the playoff game with a wild formation that should never have worked, and you stomped them. So they stayed in bronze. So in terms of this squad that you and I have put together of all our young rares and hoping for a bit of progression here and there, this is not a strong bronze team.
Ew.
I mean, it really, really isn't.
We have had good progression though. I have to say, the progression has been pretty decent.
It's not been bad. I'll be honest. Most of it's been yours. My goalkeeper went up +1. That guy's only just moved to the club.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
The
That's
keeper
my
as well.
guy.
He went up. Keeper went up.
Yeah, keeper went up. There's stats going on here, which should be the case. It'll be what I'm attributing it, like, not massive improvements is no one's got horrific match performances on averages, but some have got much better. It is what it is. The one that I wanted, this is the guy I moved in. Where is he, this defender? He's gone +3 this season. He's got +7 in pace, +8 in shooting, thank you, +3 in passing, +5 in dribbling, +3 in defending. And I think I minted him last season.
And he was doing that in ice.
He was doing that in ice. If I did all time, where is he? Yeah, he's got +10 in all time in passing, +11 all time, plus 10 all time, plus 4, plus 1. So it's all looking positive. So going to bronze now, yeah, he's going to not find it super easy, but he'll get plenty of game time, and we'll just see what we can do.
Yeah.
Just see what we can do.
We're just trying
I'm
to
not too
survive,
worried about
innit?
these guys. Yeah, if they survive, cool. If they don't, cool. We've got a Iron team.
We'll smash Iron team next season.
Basically, which is what we said we'd do, didn't we? Let's go back to home because it'll be quicker than pressing back all the time. This is a team I'm working with, Gully World, doing a lot of work with him now, almost like his director of football, helping him organise his teams and get him sorted. Because he's a really good guy. We spoke for ages. He bought that young Brazilian guy off me when I got packed him when he was 16. So we've been chatting on and off all the time about anything and everything. But he got in touch. We've been talking about working together for ages, and he had teams built for all of his clubs, but he had like 11 or 12 players in each club, and he was like, I need to finish sorting this out, but just literally the night before the deadline. So I was like, right then. So I helped him map it all out and put forward my suggestions of what I would do. And yeah, so I'm looking after one of his clubs this season where I've inherited them. I inherited them here on this cup game. That's when I found out I had them. Then we've played top of the league, another cup game, and I've had to rotate a few things, but sort of getting things ticking now, as you can see over here. So yeah, quite happy with them. They're not a bad team for bronze. Silver, Dan and SLD are absolutely smashing it with my league license this season, absolutely crushing it. This is my shared silver team, the one where we were doing up and down all the time. We did actually sell the gold one, but then I got another one. This is my license, but I sent it over to Bob this season, and I've got a big, decent chunk of rev share. Me and him are sort of chatting tactics and swapping things back and forth with each other. We just basically, someone runs the team until someone loses, and then you swap over. That's all we do, basically, for a bit of fun. So yeah, they started a bit rough, and I've taken them over recently, and I've managed to get them on the right turn. I mean, this was just a glorious result. Beating Dockside Tigers 1-0 and just a full-on shithouse win. Yeah, it was lovely. So yeah, we're ticking along nicely. And I'm the same as you in the cups, honestly, man. The last game day, it was like, okay, some rough results in there. Some of those when you're going, how the hell did they lose that? Looking at stats, but it is what it is. Last game day, you've got to win it. Cool, you win it. And you're playing bottom, so you beat them. Cool. What was that? Honestly, more than anything else, what kept happening was the first and second teams kept drawing, so they went through and I didn't. It kept happening, and I was like, how? Third time it happened, I was like, how? How's this happened again? This is one of Sid's teams. I actually had them in Diamond last season, obviously. Currently riding up in third somehow with this team. Doing quite well. We were in Titans Cup, and we got 2 wins because we beat Snake twice. Sorry, Snake. But yeah, is this the first one? This was a full-on shithouse. with a 3-5-2 because I had to run a 3-5-2 because I've only got one of each fullback, and then the last one I'd actually been working. The team had been working on a 3-5-2 for Seoul, and I thought, oh, I'm going to take that idea and go run with it. Did it again.
What's hilarious?
Better stats this time.
Because Snake loves the 3-5-2, so when you throw it out against him and beat him, it's like, well.
Well, he's already asked if I'd share what it is, and I said once I've played him in Diamond again, yes. Then the Nice team, obviously in your league. This is a super tight league. 16 points from 4th to 8th. It's all over the show, this league. It's bonkers. And yeah, they lost out on the last day of the Cup. And Seoul at the moment, I think we're 7th. Is that right? Yeah, we're sitting in 7th. This has been a frustrating one because we started the season so well. Really strong. We weren't scoring, but we weren't conceding. It was put to me that maybe we should try a bit more attacking, and we went back to back losing 5-1 and 2-0. And then I stopped.
Nope.
I just completely noped it. Absolutely noped it. Full on rotation in the cup. It's actually quite a tight game, this, against Los Galacticos, as I recall. I'm sure it was. Yeah. 2-0 loss. Yeah. Very, very tight game overall. Yeah. Is what it is. So yeah, it's quite a tight Diamond League in general. It's going to be interesting. It's going to go all the way down to the wire, I think. So, yeah. All ticking along quite nicely, and the only bit of progression I would have shared anyway would have been that CB that I did anyway. That's about the main thing. Maybe a winger that I sent over to Monkey to loan this season, because I just didn't have a team that would play wingers on the regular, because he's a rare winger. I think he's gone from 80 to 82 or something like that.
Nice.
He's ticking along quite nicely. So yeah, not doing too bad in terms of the clubs, but I won't lie, I'm looking forward to the end of the season. I want to get rewards. I just want a new match engine. I really, really, really want a new match engine.
Have you played many games on the new one?
Not on the latest iterance of it. Obviously, with the implementation of energy, subs, red
Yeah,
card plans, match plans. I haven't done all that yet because, as I said before we got started, really, I'm a bit of a sadist and I'm still testing on the current engine because I can't help but try and fine tune things. But I do want to get into it. But I want to structure it like I had done, thinking we had a new engine this season. I want to
yeah,
get back into that. So yeah, I'm going to. I'm definitely going to. And I'm quite willing to give them quite a lot of grace in terms of how good the new engine is because I'm that desperate for a new one.
I like it, but I don't know if that's because I've had 3 seasons of shit and now I can attack again. It's like, hold on, I can attack.
Yeah,
This is the greatest engine ever. I don't know if
yeah,
it's a bit of that, but it feels like an improvement to me.
good, good. Because as long as we're not playing just low line,
Yeah,
deep block, hoof it over the top like a tennis game, back and forth all game.
yeah,
As long as we're not doing that, and there's a bit of variety in how you can play, I'm fine. I don't care if there's a bit of a meta. That's always going to be the case. But can we just perceivably compete with variance in what we do,
yeah,
not all having to do the same thing? It's just
yeah,
rock paper scissors at that point. It's yeah, that bit I'm not enjoying. But we've only got a couple of weeks to go. 2 weeks today. We're recording on a Thursday. 2 weeks today. Rewards day.
yeah,
It's going to be a bumper one. I'm already owed 7 or 8 rare player packs and a silver license
nice. And
from
the
dealings.
silver license.
So, mm,
Fucking hell, nice,
so
nice,
I'm owed a few different bits and pieces, and then obviously rewards. So, rare packs
nice.
galore. Rare packs. No Lego pack. No,
No
not doing
Lego
that
pack.
anymore.
This
No
might be
Lego
the
pack
last
now.
one I can do it
I'm
because
just not going to bother.
yeah, I'm not sure. It might be the last time I can do it for a while. So
Yeah.
I might, because yeah, my interest in managing in Diamond with a shit team has disappeared. Like I don't want to do it anymore. I want to
Fair.
be
Fair.
competing. I want to be competing for the title. Relegation was cool. Okay, I've done that. Now I want to compete for the title. So there's not many teams
What
that can do that. So I might just sit out Diamond until an opportunity arises.
would you consider a job share with someone else in Diamond?
See, I was asked this, and the problem I
Mm.
found is that I'm I'm a lone wolf.
Yeah,
I'll just do
that's
shit
fair.
myself, and I kind of like that. However, me and you working together on the YT and XP team, it's been cool because we get to chat between each, and it is cool. But there's still times when I'll just set the fucking line up because it's just
Yeah, yeah.
it's the way my
I'll
brain's
go and
right. I'm
check.
like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
like,
go and check, and if you set it, I'll check what you set. I'll look at the team that you set it against. If I disagree, I'd message you. But 9 times out of 10, I go, yeah, I can see the sense in that. Cool, let's do it.
yeah. So yeah, I don't actually mind it. But this is the first time I've ever job shared with anyone, like working
Yeah,
with someone to. So it's a new experience for me, and I actually like it. It's cool, like just messaging out. What do you think of this, man? Like,
yeah.
it's good times.
Perspective.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
it's
So
definitely interesting because I'm enjoying that with Soul. I'm enjoying that with Soul, with Tim and Calvin, because they've got some really interesting takes. They've got some really interesting ideas. And yeah, there's a bit of they ask a question, we fire off some thoughts, this is what we think. But they've proven themselves very capable, as
as
we
I
knew
thought I
Tim
would.
would.
Yeah,
And
I knew they would.
Calvin came very highly recommended. I've already recommended both of them to other big agencies to say,
It's good
these
jobs.
guys are good. These
Nice.
guys are good. This is what I think they're good at in particular. FYI, because I know they'll be thinking about things, especially given the rather large announcement
Oof.
MFL gave us the other day.
Oof.
Yeah, yeah.
Oof.
Just cliff notes without jumping into all the ins and the outs, because we will do the ins and the outs, and we'll give our takes and thoughts. I did tune into David and the Ramble and all that today
I
with
haven't yet. I've
Jimbo
got to do
and
that tomorrow.
James. It's worth a watch. It's definitely worth a watch because it's interesting takes, and I'm just enjoying having people's takes because they were well measured
Mm.
and they were opposing at times. It's good. That's what we want. We want discussion. We want discourse. But generally, just if you had to give like a cliff note sort of title to this, what's your take?
Uh, evolution. This is the
Mm.
evolution of the game. Like we've had this for 17 seasons. This has been the game. This is the next evolution. This is the next step. This is MFL 2.0. But I think they had that with the realistic players. So is this MFL 3.0? Whatever. It's the next evolution in MFL. It's going to change everything. I think.
Yeah, I
How we
agree.
do stuff. I don't think it's going to be as drastic as people think it is, but it is going to change how we play.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah.
For me, it's choose your level of difficulty.
Yeah.
Basically, that's all it is. How expert do you want to jump into this? Because quite frankly, yeah, if you don't want to engage with any of the new stuff, you don't have to.
No.
Could you be at a detriment if you don't? Well, yeah, potentially. Depends if the other person who's going to the nth degree of doing everything in hard mode are doing it well. It's all dependent. Same premises. Some people are hardcore testers. Some people don't have time to be doing tactics testing. Some people do. Your perceivably tactics testers might get an edge. They might not. They might overthink it. Positive. What do you call it? Positive affirmations or what is it? Confirmation bias. When you watch this works because you do something, you think it might work. You see it happen twice and go, yeah, it works. I told you it works. Just wait, it will work again, I promise you. And like a little tip that I gave you today, I've watched about 10, 15 games and believe it works. I've got no data to back it up. It's just my general vibe and feel of it. It could be absolute BS.
No, there's something to it.
I'm happy with it. Yeah, but it's interesting. And these are the things that come from it. So yeah, if anybody's been living under a rock and doesn't know what they're talking about, I'll load it up now. Let me share my tab. It was the Season 17 post of Manage Every Minute. And in short, we're going to have more control, more options throughout the entire MFL verse in how you want to engage, do, and a lot of this stuff is stuff people have been asking for. Not all of it, but some of it. I think some more flexibility with match plans, especially the red card plans. Yeah. Yes. Training has been something loads of people have talked about academies and being able to customize your training and really tailor it. There's lots of bits and additives and pros and cons with the whole thing. Substitutions, not everyone's been looking for that, but there's been a bit of interesting bits and pieces there. Match energy, I think, is an interesting one to layer that with the custom training piece. There's lots of takeaways I've taken from that. But yeah, there's so much to get through in terms of all of this, because I think one of the things that people have said, and one of the things that David raised on the Ramble today was, is this too much in one go? Basically.
I don't. I work differently to other people. Like my mind.
Exactly.
It's for me. This is like it's coming. So just rip the band-aid off. Just get it. It's coming. This is the change. And I mean, match energy with substitutions makes sense because they go hand in hand. The red card plans goes hand in hand. Like those three all make perfect sense. You might say the custom training is a bit much, but again, like you said, you don't have to engage with the custom training. You can just leave it completely, and it'll just work how it works right now. You're not an advantage. You're not at a disadvantage. It just carries on how it is now. So do I think it's too much? No, but also I just think it's the problem that we've had the same thing for so long that now it seems like a lot. You know what I mean? It just seems like a lot, and I think I'm going to make a prediction here. In 3 weeks of the season, mid-season, next season, people are going to be like, "Oh, it's not that bad." They're going to work it out. They're going to figure out how to now operate within this new system, and then they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, this is the new normal now, and it'll be fine. There won't be any of the crisis." I don't personally don't think it's too much, but that's just how I work. I can see how some people think it will. It's going to be more time consuming. It's more, I'm going to have to manage. Oh no, I've got to make subs if I want to be competitive. I mean, the other stuff you don't have to do anything. I'd say the subs is the one where you're at a detriment if you don't engage with the subs, right? But if you want to be competitive, that's what you're going to have to do. Right now, if you want to be competitive, you test. You test a lot, and that'll give you the edge. It's just the same as that. You're going to have to engage with it if you want that extra 1% to be competitive. That's the price. But everything else, you don't have to touch. You don't have to. So it's not. I agree with all of that.
I don't disagree with other people having a different take on it. Going, this is too much for me. That's fair. There's a lot of information here. Lots of things to consider. You might only have one club. You might have a lot of clubs. It's up to you how much you want to jump into any of this, if at all. There's lots of nuance here.
Just speaking on that with the people having lots of clubs, and they're saying, "Oh, I've got so many clubs, I'm not going to be able to run them." There's delegation. Like, there's an answer
Yeah.
for it. Like, oh, I can't run all these clubs. Okay, maybe I'll pass a couple of these clubs off on. I wouldn't normally. I'll pass them off onto. We've got delegation to. There's an answer for it, Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, you've got delegation. I think in some cases, it's not always the case. Someone has a lot of clubs. A certain percentage of those are not ones that they're looking for glory with, per se. They are using them as farms. So they're looking
yeah,
for the MFL return, or they're looking to progress the players.
yeah,
Well, straight away, you've got something to help you progress your players potentially, or refine your approach to how you try and progress your players potentially. Like my CB, who's decided to get plus 18 shooting this season. If this was in situ, arguably, if I'd chosen to do something, that wouldn't be the case. But all those stats he's got would be going in the right places. He'd look a very different card all of a sudden. So, I don't have an issue with any of that. I know it's a lot. It's a lot of people to consider as part of it. And yes, you might be at a slight detriment if you don't do it to the nth degree. But do you have to do it? No. You can keep approaching the game how you see fit to approach the game. The most important thing out of all of this is all wonderful. I'm really excited about a lot of this. That's my disposition. I'm looking forward to all this. What's more important to me is that the match engine is better.
yeah,
Fundamentally. Because this is all the dressing up around it. This is bells and whistles, some very nice looking bells and whistles. But at the same time, if the match engine itself is not quite going to hit the mark, I'm going to be disappointed, even with all this. But I'm excited doing about all this. So before we go any further, we've got the custom training, we've got match energy, we've got substitution, red card plans, and the even more, it goes into the match engine and some changes around the tactics of bits and pieces to give you a bit more flexibility. We'll go through them. I was going to suggest we just go them in chronological order here, but if you want to jump into something, we'll jump into it there.
no,
And I think we
let's
just
go.
fire away between the two of us.
Yeah,
So yeah, we've got custom training. So in terms of the custom training piece, at the moment, obviously everyone knows if you've got a player in a club, come. Well, it's 9 a.m. for me in the UK. They've got 8 a.m. I don't know what UTC stands for without googling it off the top of my head.
yeah. Universal time. That's France.
Maybe, yeah. It's
France
an hour
time.
before us. It's now before us. French time. Okay, that's what it stands for.
I think. I
But
don't know.
but they get the training, and you're hoping for. If you read the white paper, it discusses like the percentage of XP being earned and how it would be distributed against their core stats, the ones that impact their overall for their position, and the sort of generally other XP amounts that can go to any stat. That can be core stat, but it can be a random one, like my CB with shooting. And there's lots of nuances there with it, but this is going to help you refocus that. They go through the fact that we've got training groups. You'll get a certain amount of free groups. You get 2 outfield and 1 goalkeeper. You can unlock more groups, which we will come on to because I think it's an interesting discussion point. There are maximums. You can train the goalkeepers on their own. Anybody who is unassigned will still get training. They'll just get baseline training. They're not getting anything tailored. You can hire coaches. You don't have to hire coaches. And it goes through the variety of different ways that can be paid for. I believe there's an MFL cost, so you can just do a flat rev share sort of hiring piece on there. They talk about the basic versions, standard versions, and elite versions, and you get a slight benefit in terms of how fast theoretically someone will gain a stat in those particular categories you're looking for. I mean, on the face of all this straight away, I think people were worrying about training and then going, "Oh, I know we discussed it. What happens if you get someone who just trains pace and that's all they do, and then you end up with these pace monsters?" Well, that's if they've got any room to grow,
Yes.
and if they do, they might have, I don't know, 20 more stats being eligible to them in their entirety, and 18 if it go to pace, 2 go to shooting, and then you've got, I don't know, a 78 rated striker with 99 pace and 72 shooting.
Yeah.
It's all an up if buts and maybes because we've got that unknown potential piece going on. All the same with this, it'll just speed things up. I think goalkeeper one is the one that caught my eye because that's the only one that gets a benefit. I think they get is it 5%?
5% extra, yeah.
Yeah,
5%.
5% extra, which I'm all for because my what was 16-year-old goalkeeper is just going slow as I think he's 23 now and he's 83, but he just barely does anything. He eventually just goes, yeah, I suppose.
Seems to be the same with all goalkeepers, so this is like a welcome thing. I think most of my clubs are gonna, if they've got a young goalkeeper, they're gonna be coach. Put him in there.
Yeah.
Tense training, please.
It's really interesting all this though, because I've honestly, since I've read this, my brain's just been going idea, a concept idea, because it's like, oh well, you know what, I'll get an extra training group. I'm going to get an elite goalkeeping coach, but I'm only going to probably have 2 goalkeepers in that club anyway. they're not both going to be people I want to get progression either, because I want one of them to be the first choice.
Yeah.
So you're doing it for that one person. So there's lots of nuances with all of it, which is really interesting. Talk about the focuses in terms of how you can sort of move things around, and you can choose the focus. I know you can choose the coaches. Everyone effectively can see the same coaches, and so you could hire whatever the name of the elite shooting goalkeeper is, coach is, and I can hire the same one for my club. It'll work for both clubs effectively. Is how it works. It's not like a first come first served. All the focuses in practice, they go through the breakdown of these. I think this is something that's not worth us going through the fine tooth comb. I think it's worth you sitting down and reading it.
Just a quick look. I don't think
go for it.
Off is that bad. Like,
What's
you know,
that?
if you've got those percentages. So
No,
if
they're
I
not.
put an elite shooting coach on, and I just want them to, yes, they get 150%, but his dribbling only drops to 88. That's not that bad, I don't think at all. Like 84 for the other, they're pretty good. Like, you'll still get decent stuff in your other stats. Like,
you can start looking at it like odds. Just convert those percentages into odds, and there you go. That's what the odds of getting increase in those stats. If they would get a +1, because they might not get, like some of you, my players in the Yorkshire Tea XP team, some of them haven't got a single stat increase this season. My left back, the Lego one, he's never had a stat increase. I think he's had one. But anyway, he doesn't get them. So even if I had him in elite coach, it doesn't mean he's going to get naff all. If he does, there's a great probability of it going in a stat I want it to.
Yeah.
That's a short version.
Rather than shooting.
Yeah, absolutely. Same focus on when a focus changes, depends on what the player's position used to target. The same two coaches on a centre back. No, there's nothing from there that computed to me. The intensity piece I thought was interesting because you can set it at low, normal, and high. It'll have an impact on their energy depletion and things like that, as I understand it. So on high, the training speed will 20% faster. They lose 1 percentage point plus 10% of his energy if he is missing. And then you got this recovery piece here, which it was like, I like the way they've seemingly tried to balance match energy, substitutions, and then potential to increase rapid recovery of players.
Yes.
Is this also a way to help manage squads where you've got a lot of retiring tombstone players? Put them all on low, you don't care, low, they recover a bit quicker, you'll be able to help out more people on the bench. So there's loads of ways of approaching this. It's about just looking for the opportunities with what your club is.
Yeah.
Is my view. And all of
absolutely.
These. Energy before, in terms, they show a practical application. So if before training, they were on 100%. After high training, they will be on 99%. If they've lost 10% energy, so they were 90% energy before they went into the high intensity training, they go to 88. So you get a slight more drop. The further this drops, the bigger the hit is to the energy depletion as it goes. But again, after a low session, you see there you've got a guy who was on 90% energy before. After training, they're getting 92%. We've not had a way to increase their energy levels, fitness levels, whatever we're calling it, except from miss the game.
How many times have we had a guy who's you really want him to play, but he's dropped down to 90%, and it's like, oh, I can't play tomorrow, so I've got to rotate him out. You do the low session for that day, suddenly you can play him in that evening game. Like, it's great. I don't think these ones down here, I see why they've put them in there, but I'm never going to have a player at 70% energy. So
say you had I don't know, you've got a team that you manage. I'm managing Soul at the moment. I've got 2 staff members with me who are working with me as co-managers. What's to say I don't have a word with one of them if I was doing it next season and go, okay, what I'd like you to do, this is the original setup that we want to be working on to help improve Bob's players. This is what we think we need to do. What I want you to do after every match, after subs and all the nuances with that, is review and change people's training based on who you think needs recovery.
Yeah, it's a fucking perfect job. Yeah,
it is. It's a good job.
Or anything, they just handle training, right? Yeah.
Well, they can do. It's like an additional support of this. Can you look into that for us? Cool. And they'd be like, oh, if you're not free to do it, just let us know. Someone else can pick it up. We can sort it out. But someone just having half an eye on it.
Yeah.
Like, why not? It's a good staff member role for someone to do to help you out with it. Like being your assistant manager.
Yeah.
Lead training for me, please.
Yeah, I like it.
Like, who wouldn't give 5% to that? And if that's all you have to do, here's the base setup for training. I want you to monitor fitness and move people into low training sort of things, and you're going to give you 2.5% to 5%. Gushy.
Yeah, score.
Very cushy.
You don't have to worry about results. Just make sure their fitness is good. The end.
Yeah, look after my team, please, in terms of their energy levels. That's all I'm after.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's lots of potential to go in with all of that. So yeah, they put out the usual warnings. Probably a good job about making sure energy doesn't end up running too low, how to recover them, just in general speaking. The unlocking of more groups, because you get the three, don't you? Two outfield, one goalkeeper as standard, as base, and then you can unlock some more, is my understanding.
Yeah.
The prices are down here, aren't they? Here we go. So it depends what league level that you're in. So it increases in incrementally based on your first, second, third, fourth.
That's a rare
Yeah,
pack.
yeah.
Jesus.
That's what I mean. Some of these costs are quite extensive. I've got thoughts on this and how people might start viewing it. Because if I don't know, you've got all these. I've got a lot of these young rares at the moment. I'm running a lot of them in ice, stone maybe. Even more incentive to do it now than to potentially push them for bronze because I want the extra training thing. It's cheaper to do it in stone or
Yeah.
ice. And I believe if you purchase these upgrades to a license, it stays with the license. So if you sell it, it's a potential value add for the license, should you wish to sell it on.
Nice.
So another one to consider there. The upgrades, upgrading cost of difference. I'm confused. What's the upgrade bit now?
So if you buy a thing in Spark and then
Yeah.
you get promoted to ice, you're gonna have to
Yeah.
upgrade it to an ice facilities. Otherwise, it's
Right.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I've just looked at that and gone, I'm absolutely blanking. It's like the idea of having to meet certain requirements for your stadium when you go up into
Yeah.
professional leagues and stuff like that. That sort of vibe. Even then, that's not a massive dent comparatively.
No.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Coaches' salaries, interesting. Standard is.
2%.
So I'm looking at that. Yeah, looking at these, and these are just. This is what you can pay for the coach. I'm confused again.
Oh, I think is that the upfront MFL.
It's governed pay per season, either a rev share or governed as an upfront MLC basis. Oh, right, okay.
So it's
So
either
it's
2% of your earnings or that upfront fee. I think someone said it. Someone said it in Discord. If you think you're gonna come above 8th, you go with the
Yeah.
upfront.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be a challenger,
If you're a farm,
if you're a farm, go with a percentage. Yeah.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Well, that's not even
limits.
that bad. I don't even think that's
No.
that bad.
That is not
At
bad
all.
damage at all. No, but it's like these sort of farm teams now, and where you sometimes put these players. There'd be the argument for I don't know your good uncommons, like high rated uncommons. Would you stick them in ice or do you keep them in Sparta for a season and upgrade facilities where it's a bit cheaper? It's a bit less to run the elite coaches and stuff. And then if they do get promoted, it's not as a big heavy investment because they jump from one to the other. Whereas it's here you go. In terms of those upfront costs, it's not too bad in comparison, is it?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Or it meets the same price basically. So if it
Oh,
costs
it
you that
does.
much in there, and then you want to upgrade it, it's literally you just making up the difference.
Okay.
But I suppose that, but for a season, I suppose the cost of your coaches are a bit cheaper. Interesting, all the same. But you can't retrain a position. You can't train past potential, which we already knew. Save a setup as prefect. No, you set each group directly, and all groups save together in one action. Okay, you don't own the coaches. Focus on an attribute your coach lacks. The speciality is a fix. You must hire a different coach. You're going to focus on something different. That's cool. Let someone else run it. Yes, training is a manager's permission. Like tactics, granting a manager's contract, and they can run your training. You could literally give someone a staff contract with just training if you wanted to.
I like that.
That's a good job for someone if they wanted a nice little tidy earner. You've only got 3 of them, still all the same, but all the same. It's another one for folk. Anything else on training? Just anything generally? Thoughts, observations?
I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think like I said, it's going to be interesting. It's going to give us extra things to think about, which I think is something that's been missing. Is like we've all got into this sort of, this is how it goes, and now this is just some extra stuff for us to consider and think about. I think there's going to be some clubs, like you said, there's going to be some clubs that I'm going to set up specifically for progression, and the focus is going to be on training, whereas some other clubs that I'm, pushing. Maybe they've got older players in and I'm pushing for titles or something. I'm not going to worry about it on them so much, Interesting. I wonder how it's going to work with me and Ronjon and Trust. Like, that's going to be interesting. How are we going to do that? Because I'm not, I'm not sure. I just thought of that. Like,
I think it has to be a discussion with like the owners of the players, because the thing I've thought about with this is the loan market has already been difficult for a lot of folk.
Yeah, this is.
It's now a consideration when you do loan players, and like networking is going to be even more important than it ever has been. Because like there was a young DM that's doing quite well this season, and Hudders is looking after him in Stone for me because I could see he was looking for players. He didn't have a spot, didn't want to just shoehorn him in a lower club, put him in there. Cool, all good. But if Hudders doesn't have, if I've got an elite coach potentially who can focus on his attributes, but I don't really have a massive spot for him, but I could shove him in there and just get this quality training, and he can't offer that potentially because it would be a bigger outlay. It's a consideration then when you go and loan out your players all of a sudden.
Yeah, people are
Like,
going to
what
be
do you want
looking.
from them?
Yeah, people are going to be looking at your stuff. Is this going to be the best position for this player? Because
Yeah.
once you learn him out as well, you've got no control over
No.
the trading at all. So yeah,
No,
it's
you
going to be
don't.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one because it's one I've been considering. Like, would I be looking to loan out any of my younger guys? It's going to depend. I mean,
On
if
who
I've
it
had a
is.
younger guy, yeah, if I've had a younger guy for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, seasons, whatever, and I'm not seeing much potential there because we're not seeing much growth, then maybe I would, and I would like, well, okay, you can loan him, but I want him to be on high intensity training for the season. Just in general, yes, you probably get a game or two less because his energy depletion will be a bit quicker as a result. But that's what I want. I want him to be getting this if I went down that route, for example. And then if you were to see, oh, actually, he's now ticking on and he's firing all of a sudden, cool, next season, reconsider what I'll be doing with him. But
Yeah,
it's now, there's more of a chess piece going on there in terms of moving things around strategically on the board. I think people should be more cautious about just loaning openly. And if you are loaning, that you just play with the other manager what ideally you'd like, and if they're able to facilitate that.
yeah, agreed. Yeah, yeah. Like you
Mm,
said, networking is going to become even more important for
more
loans.
important, even
Yeah,
more.
way more
Some of the
important.
guys who have got more loans from me than anyone else has been those who have reached out to us and established conversations and stuff like that. It makes a big, big difference.
It does. I've got a
Um,
couple of guys that literally just come to me at the start of the season and they take a bulk of players from me, like
yeah.
every season. Like, yeah, just because they reached out.
Well, that looks shady. Someone's just tried to DM me on a Discord and they've tried to send me some sort of image. Yeah, why would I want to download a file that's too large to download from here? Anyway, I was thinking it
Yeah.
would be another manager trying to network with me, and it's someone who's in a fantasy Premier League group of some description. So that'll get binned off shortly. Right then. So we've got match energy, we've got subs, we've got red card plans, and we've got and the more, which I think I'm also want to touch on that because some of the tactical bits there sound really
Yes.
interesting. Any of these in particular you want to focus in on first or lead at all on?
I think they all tie into each other. But
Cool.
I mean, maybe
We'll
not
just
red
jump
card pack,
between
but I
them.
think the match energy and the substitutions do sort of blend into each other because naturally, yeah, I like the energy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like how it affects the match engine. I've enjoyed it so far. The one thing I have noticed is every time I sub a guy on, so I've got a match plan to set up. Once my left mid hits 50%, sub in this guy.
Yeah.
Nearly every single time, the guy who's been subbed in either gets an assist or a late goal. Now, granted, I have been doing tests because I was doing tests with subs, a team without subs. So he's going against tired players who have had no
Mm-hmm.
subs. So obviously that makes a difference. But yeah, that's something that may be an issue, may require balancing at some point. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know yet. We need to see it live. We need to see it
Like the
consistently.
concept that a sub-dom player could potentially have way too much higher an impact on
Yes.
the of actions in the game is what you're thinking
Yeah.
potentially is the case.
It's potential,
Okay, that's
but
interesting.
yeah, I think that's something I'm going to keep an eye on. Like I said, friendlies are friendlies. That happens. We'll see how it happens in the league because then other people are going to be using subs. It might not have that much of an impact when other
Yeah,
people are also making subs. So I mean, we'll
could
see.
make could make scouting interesting if you're noticing your opponent makes a tendency to sub, I don't know, winger, wide mid, striker on the regular, might influence your tactical decisions. You go,
Yes.
oh, I know my right back is going to most likely be very tired by the end of this game. At this sort of time period, I want you to sub in this new right back for me to help me have a bit more cover. So he's going up against fresh legs.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, agreed.
Interesting.
Which is good.
Yeah. Chess game. That's what we're
Yeah.
after. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, do people have time to do all that? No. Do you have to do that? Well, this is hopefully the point that we don't want it to be so overpowered that if you don't do it, you're just shit out of luck. Good luck for the rest of the season, basically. But equally, those that do put the time and effort in and do it well and execute well are rewarded to a certain degree. It's just defining how much of a detriment it is reasonable if you don't, and how much of a benefit it is if you do.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the careful balancing acts, which, again, I'm not envious that MFL have to work all that sort of stuff out at all. I'll just bitch and moan if your game engine's not good enough, all the same. So yeah, but I know they go into the game with a certain amount of match energy, don't they? It's will be replenished to a certain degree at half time, and then the different amounts of energy throughout the game. It shows you're going to get a visual on every player, and they become between percentage thresholds. So you've got fresh, you've got showing fatigue, tired, worn out, close to cramping, dead on his feet. That doesn't sound good.
No.
And there you've got the thresholds there, basically, in terms of what you'd see on the pitch to get a bit of an idea.
I'd be interested. I don't know about after extra time. I haven't seen anyone go below 50% yet.
Well, in theory, because I know someone, I don't know if it was on Ramble today on the Discord. If it was a cup game, it's the only time we get extra time or playoff. Yeah, playoffs. When there's full time, there is a break, so I imagine it's similar to half time. They'll get a bit of replenishment, but it might not be to the same extent from the first half because they've had two lots of 45 minutes because they never recovered to where they were after a break anyway. So it's almost then looking at your team going, okay, where is the highest amount of volume when I'm attacking, potentially when I'm defending, what is the physical rating of? And I think we could sit here and look at an example and all these numbers and go, we think it's this, we think it should be that. I think you'll find out more from playing games and not doing testing to go, okay, what I keep noticing is my DM is ragged by the time he gets to the 70th minute. Why is that the case? Is it because he's herring after players, throwing himself into tackles? Is he covering a lot of distance? If you're attacking wide and then you want to go compact, is like a right back scenario. You want him to get forward and you're attacking wide, but when you defend, I want you to go compact. Think about the distance he has to cover all of a sudden.
Yeah.
To go from an attacking wide position to come in really narrow. There's all these little bits here. We've got the dribble match. We've got the new match engine stats that we'll see, which we'll come on to. You can see dribbles now. You can see passes. You can see all sorts. You can start looking at these and going, okay, why is that guy getting knackered? It's not just the physical. He's actually made 25% more passes than anyone else in the team. That's potentially why. And you can start look to refine. I like it.
You know what I love about it so much is I know some people won't like it, but we said this ages ago about I said it about the meta in the bottom 3 instructions. It's always that little diagonal press more. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. I think you could maybe start a game as pressing more, but I think there's going to be a point where you're going to have to maybe, okay, in the 70th minute, maybe we stop pressing because my players are going to be shagged by the 90th minute if I keep pressing. And I, like you said, the chess game, it's like, do I want to be pressing against this team for 90 minutes? And it's not going to allow you to, because you will see there's no negative to it right now, is there? To press in for 90 minutes. There's none. Whereas I always thought there should be. I've always thought there should. And this brings this. So
it's pros and cons. You're constantly weighing up the pros and the cons on what you do. Like if you ask the team to do this, here's the positives you can get out of it, here's the potential negatives. And sometimes it doesn't feel like there is that balance. Here's the pros. I hope it works. Basically. I mean, I found this. That's the one thing I found really interesting is I've been messing around with tactics, and I came up with an absolutely ludicrous tactic that for some reason starts working in this game engine. I don't know why, but it is. I accidentally went on the experimental because I was just messing about on my desktop, and I just clicking away and did it, and off I went. So I was just absent-mindedly, and that team got absolutely bombed, and absolutely should have done as well. Because what should happen if a team does what I was asking them to do happened. Excellent. Time and time again. Fine with that. Cool. Absolutely fine. Absolutely. Like if you're playing 100% depth or 100% height in terms of your defensive line, there's very clear, obvious problems with both. One you shouldn't be able to attack, one you shouldn't be able to defend with. Certainly not effectively. And that became very apparent. And equally, the amount of bookings if you're playing aggressive and high pressing, there's a lot. I've seen a lot of red cards. Good for testing, to check your red card match plans and how that works. But yeah, if you are super uber aggressive, you are going to get more bookings.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just going to be the case. So it's like if you're the underdog, should you be pressing and being super aggressive in your tackles because there's a high incident rate of just not getting it right? Want to test and find out.
It's more
I would
stuff
say
to think
no.
about, which I love. More stuff to think about.
I hadn't looked at the subs. If can you set a sub condition? So I don't know if this player is booked. Come this minute, can they get subbed?
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent, because that's
do it
exactly
for
what.
bookings, match rating, or energy.
Oh yeah, the match rating came up on the ramble today. I'm thinking lower down the leagues. If you've got a striker, you're like you are doing my head in. You keep missing chances. As soon as he gets below 6, sub. Gets subbed after 13 minutes. Saying success. Get off. Energy after the match. What's this? Playing a part in a match. If they've played 10 minutes, recovers a little. If they play 25, finishes his starters. That's interesting. Choosing the time in which they come into the match. So that's 65th minute. Then they'll just be the same as they were. Interesting. 45 minutes uses about a third of a full match. 65 uses 60% of a full match. And if they play 90 minutes, they uses a full match. So this is the normal amount of energy depletion that you would see on a person on an average game as we see it now. So if you're seeing, I don't know, 2 to 3%, because I do see the variance based on physical rating. If you're seeing those percentages, it could potentially be less.
Yeah.
If these certain things. Again, very interesting. David was
think
pointing out.
Before we move on, I think this is where red players, like red tombstone players, suddenly get a lot more value. Because
Exactly what David said.
Is it? Right, yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
If they come on for 25 minutes and they don't lose energy, what's to say I don't get a couple of red tombstone guys, bring them on at the 25th minute when there's 25 minutes to go, when my starters are tired, bring them on. They don't lose energy. I could just use them as subs, and just that's all their utility is. They don't lose.
And
energy.
if your starters, your key guys, will only use 60% of the energy they once did, so need to find a better example than what we're doing. But if they were losing 5% a game, they would only lose 3% because that's 60% of it. So you're saving that extra 2%, which are slowly accruing, is very helpful. Then you can have low training as well, low intensity training, and help them recover even more. There's loads of things here. This is why I kept seeing all the little weaves in and out, and how you need to think, how would I approach this? And it's going to be based on your squad composition and the individuals in that squad.
100%.
I'm totally cool with that. You can still run very low squad numbers, in my view, and use subs. You've just got to read through this carefully and think about it.
Yeah, it'll just be an extra. Yeah, you've got to. It can't be as blind as you do it now.
There you go. Extra time counts now. Until now, 20 minutes time drain the same energy as 90 minutes. So if they play extra time, and they've played 90 minutes, if they've played 100 minutes, it's 111%, 133%. Yeah, so a third of it. Yeah, so, I mean, it's a bad example. We're going for the 5% again. If it's 33%, ooh, you're losing like almost 6.5%. I mean, you can't do a half, so however that will all fall. Interesting all the same. I wonder if we're just seeing if it said anything. That's fine. I was wondering if they're going to clarify, or they'll round it up or they'll round it down if it fell between the two. I was curious. So yeah, I think the match energy piece is interesting. I think you need to potentially have a play around with your ultra aggressive and in personal instructions and see, is there a knock-on effect with those players? What they can't do? Even more important is not big number on face of card, is the individual stats again.
Yeah.
As it should be, which is good. Yeah, nuance to each player. Every player is a bit more unique. Subs then. So you can name a bench of up to 7 substitutes. You can only carry out 5 of them.
Yeah.
Bench players also earn XP even if they don't come on, and a short appearance takes almost no energy out of a player, which we've already saw on that. If they do 25 minutes, they don't lose any energy, but they do get max XP.
Yeah.
Match XP. Cool. Yeah. I suppose what I haven't come on to yet, and it might be on here because I can't recall looking for it, and I was thinking about this before. If you've got a player that plays 65 minutes of a game, do they get a percentage of their max XP because they didn't play the full match?
Did it not say in there?
I'm not sure. I was
it?
thinking I didn't on match energy, but we're now on a substitute, so it might well cover it in this section. I've just popped into it.
XP and progression. It's right there.
Let's jump straight down to it then.
Just go to that.
Named on the bench and never came on. They get about 5%. Came on as a sub, a share for coming on, rising with every minute, almost to a full start. Okay, started. A large share for starting, rising with every minute to the full amount.
So it's
A
based on
starter
minutes.
earns more. Yeah,
It's based on minutes.
yeah. So basically, yeah, the more they're playing, the more XP they'll earn from that match.
Yeah.
That's cool. It popped into my head earlier. I thought, have I explicitly checked that? And I wasn't sure. So I was like, oh, I'm going to have a look at it and talk about it on the podcast next. I wasn't sure if we'd had that one. Anyway, writing substitute plans. As you've already said, you said there was time thresholds, there was different incidents or different conditions that can be met, and then you can nominate this person for this person, basically.
Yeah.
So there's no changing formations. If you wanted to, you could bring on.
Unfortunately not.
You could bring on a CB at left mid if you wanted to, but why would you? Sort of vibe. That makes all complete sense. Leaving the choice to your staff or making it yourself. Leave it automatic, and your staff take the best option available on the bench for the position that needs your filling. So you can leave it to the staff. Leave it automatic, and your staff choose the best option.
Yeah, it's choose the best. It's just the thing is because I'm running with lean squads. The guys on my bench are already there, if you know what I mean. Like there's already a BB there. There's already a fullback there. So me just setting leave it to it's just the CB gets tired. The CB comes on. Like
18-man squad. That's interesting because all of a sudden, if you've got an 18-man squad and they're just sat on the bench, they'll earn XP anyway. They'll earn, like all your bench players earn just a small amount of XP just be sitting on the bench.
Just for sitting there. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Plans and conditions.
Can we talk about this? Can we talk about this? Because some people think
players
shouldn't earn XP for sitting on the bench. But in my head, why wouldn't they? Because they're there. Like, if you compared it to real life, if they're there, they're in the team talk, they're listening to the tactics, they're watching the game, they're paying attention to the game. Surely they'll learn something.
Calling up an academy player to be a part of the first team.
That's exactly why they do it. That's exactly why they do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's an argument there. And also, I'd also add, why not?
Yeah.
They shouldn't. Okay, but you're gaining something for free.
Yeah.
So why not? Why are you arguing about getting something more?
I think the problem is because they don't get recovery. But if they don't get recovery, it's just like you're playing a forfeit team where your energy doesn't move anywhere. So it's like, okay, so you don't recover, but you don't move.
Fair enough.
Getting XP, like to me, it just.
And you can choose how many people you want to put on your bench.
Yeah.
So you don't have to put anyone on your bench if you don't want to.
You do not have to.
So again, same as now if you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Great.
Exactly.
Cool. Fine, I'm fine with that. But equally, I also come back to the training piece again. Like, setting on low intensity doesn't mean they get no training, but they get a bit of a bonus in terms of recovery. Yeah. So if you wanted them to sit on the bench to get some XP, but match XP, which is more valuable, and then on top of that, you can still get a bit of training, and they'll still recover as if they missed a match. It's about the weighing up the pros and the cons, and you don't need to, I don't know, is it 93% and you're like, do I want him to sit on the bench for this game? Well, let him sit on the bench because he won't recover because I'll put him low intensity training tomorrow and he'll be in a position the following day, hopefully, to be in a better position to then play or play a part.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm chill with that. All the different ways of setting these up. I know some people are mentioning, I think it came up on Discord and on the Ramble pod earlier, like the amount of instructions haven't changed, I believe. You've still got the same amount of instructions at present. And I think one of the questions, because I believe he said, was it Matt or Lucas is going on next week? I don't know if at the beginning of next week, Tuesday, I've got in my head, I think he said, is going on with David, and I think maybe someone else is going to join David as well. And so people can ask questions and go through these sort of discussional points. Because to me, from having a quick look at it, I suppose it would make sense to have more conditions that can be met.
Are you talking about match plan slots? Or just...
Yeah, match plan slots, because I thought the substitution ones are a part of the match plan slots. Is that correct?
So there's still only 5 that you can have active and 10 total. But there was a screenshot when it was first released where Quentin had 15 active,
cool,
and 30 like total. And I asked him about it, and he said like the problem was it clogs up too much tactical data.
Fair
So
enough.
they've left it down. But I did point out like we're probably going to need more because the 5 get eaten up super quick. So
Yeah.
maybe it won't go to the 15 and 30. Maybe if it went to 10 active and 15 total, maybe I don't know what that'd do. But having it at the 15 and 30 was clogging up too much tactical data.
I mean, I can see potential caveats to all this. There's a maximum number of subs, so it's 5 subs. So there's 5 for that, 5 for match plans,
Yeah.
and maybe because the substitute one will also need to include the red card one, so it might not be foolproof. But almost like cap a certain type of match plan, so you can only have X number of ones for subs, and only X number of ones for changing tactics. Because if someone had 15 options and they can have 15 active and it's all for tactics, it could be absolute fuckery.
Yes.
With the match engine. And I completely concur with that. So that's interesting. That's
But
interesting.
they had
I wonder
thought
if
of
they.
it. I think they've clearly thought about adding. It was just the sort of issues. But I did say like this is we probably need a few more.
I mean, I don't know about the infrastructure and the implementation, but I just wonder if you've got match plans and then you can have the the substitution ones being separate, brought away from those. I don't know how easy that sort of concept would be, but that's where my brain goes to, is if you can separate the two out, you can have distinct conditions for both. To hopefully eradicate some of the complications. But they're already adding more complexity because we've got substitutions.
Yeah.
So I'm willing. I genuinely think, generally even, a lot of the stuff they're implementing here, we might want change, and if it's a problem, like major problem, maybe they will. If it doesn't, we need to ride it for a season, give the constructive feedback, give a rationale behind change, and have it supported and substantiated, and then the team have this upcoming season to look at it and go, okay, the community are looking for this implementation. What is the best way for us to execute on that if we believe it's viable or worthwhile doing? Prioritization and stuff. Yeah, no, I think there's an interesting one there. XP and progression, we've already jumped to that one. Appearance clauses, so it's no longer going to be appearances, is my understanding. It's going to be about the amount of minutes a player gets in a contract.
Yeah, it's sort of like it says there. It's like if he plays 75 minutes, it's 0.83.
Yeah. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. No, it doesn't matter. I'm not bothered about that one. Right, let's move on then. So, red card plans. This is a fairly obvious one.
We have wanted for so long. Like, oh my god.
I mean, is there already some presets then by the looks of this? Or is that someone's labelled it as that?
Yeah, I think that's what they've labelled it. It's fairly simple. It's like the substitutes. It's just if defender gets sent off, substitute a striker for a defender. It just does that. It's really.
So you could choose to specify. You can go based on the best or most obvious choice.
Yeah.
What's going to be hilarious is someone puts that on, and that they do have a defender who would be suitable to go on, but the coach who's doing it says, "Oh yeah, that winger. Come on, mate, you got it sent back like Sunday League." That's going to be hilarious. The meltdowns that would take place when that happens.
God. Yeah.
That would be hilarious. I mean, it won't be hilarious if it happens to me, obviously, but it's hilarious if it happens to someone else. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I don't think that's not like a major. Oh my god, I need to now consider this. I think that's set them up.
We've wanted this.
Forget.
We've wanted this. Yeah, this is just put it in. I think that's the problem because I've got two. That's the problem with the match plan slots because I've got two. Like if a striker gets sent off, I don't care. But if a defender or a midfielder, I've got a red card match plan for that, and then I've also got a match plan for red card. This is now my instructions, and that takes up 3 of my slots immediately. Right.
Yeah.
There. And that's just how I'm going to set it out for most of my teams. I reckon.
Would you realistically do that for all your teams?
I think as default, yeah, probably.
Yeah. So for that, it's a tidbit I wanted to give people because it does work. Set up a bog standard 4-4-2, nothing other instructions. Just have the match plans that you want in there saved as default. Load that into another one, tailor everything else, but the match plans will copy over from a save tactic. Just do that. Set it up on one.
Something in where we can save them and send them over.
The actual match plans themselves.
I think so. Yes.
They save.
Sure I've seen
they
something.
do save now. Your match plans do save now with a save tactic, but if you load that into another club, they'll take the same match plans. You can change the formation and everything else to do with it, but the match plans will still maintain and stay there. I think that's caught people out when they didn't want those match plans in situ for that particular club, and something's gone awry, or they've forgot about them, changed the formation, changed the tactic, and not changed the match plans, and they've gone,
Yeah.
oh shit.
I had that
Didn't want
issue
that.
with that club I got off. I got off Blades because
Yeah.
I just set up a new tactic that I wanted to play, and then like 60 minutes in the match, it was like, do this. I was like, hold on, I didn't set that, and then I had to look in and there was like 4 match plans. So I was like, for fuck's sake, I've got to turn all these.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy to.
Yeah, so it's a quicker way. But if they're working on something that will improve the user experience and make it more streamlined, yeah, great.
Yeah,
because I think what was being discussed today, again, I'm going to keep going back to the ramble because it's the first one that people have talked about this on something, and obviously Jimbo was there and stuff. And I'm just going to do something for Jimbo, by the way, for when he does listen to the pod to find out if he has, because he mentioned the other night, he talks about up the ramble, and he said he really wanted an up the Wendirk because no one did. He said he can't do it himself, but he's been waiting for it. So this is for you, Jimbo. No. Anyway.
I fucking love you, man.
But anyway, they were talking about this, and I think it was James who pointed it out. He said, well, with all these extra things, James being James, going, yeah, I don't know the next plan. I don't want to do all the extra stuff. Yeah, I'll let someone else do it, and then let me know if it works, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm totally on board with that. That's each to their own, and that's totally James. But he said, well, if it takes a manager 3 times as long to prepare for a match when running a big club like Diamond, should managers who are looking for those contracts to be contracted by a Diamond team owner, should they be asking for more because it's taking up more of their time? Theoretically.
That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in my case, with Bob, no. I basically accept what Bob's willing to give me and then move on. Just like that's the end of it for me, because that's the way I work in that. But Bob has always been very gracious with that. I've not always got paid as much as others, but I've got, absolutely
very generous with their.
Couldn't agree more. So it's the job is to be done, regardless of how much time it takes. It's the job to be done. Hence me testing like a ridiculous amount of the season, even when I didn't do any really last season because responsibility. But some of the 2.5% contracts. Yeah. I suppose you have to expect, okay, if you get a 2.5% contract, then there's a certain amount of work I'm willing to do.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
I was going to say, the contract I'm on right now with Magos, if this is a lot more time consuming as people are fearing it is, then yeah, the 5.5 for Magos doesn't seem worth it to me at all. Like, not that I'm bothered about the MFL, like, I'm really not. Like, I just enjoy managing in Diamond, but yeah, it just won't seem that worth it. Like...
It's for me. It comes down to more of the principle behind it and the value, how much you are being valued. I suppose is how that conversation comes about. So theoretically, Bob could turn around to me next season and go, "Mate, I can only give you this much for a rev share because."
Yeah,
I'd be like, "Cool," because it's like that's fair enough. Like there's a cause and effect piece there going on. Totally fine. If he turns around and goes, I don't think you're worth that, I think you're worth this percent. If I disagree, fair enough. Move on. That's totally fine. But if someone came and said, would you do it for 2.5%? No. No. Not worth my time. It's literally not worth my time. So no. You don't value my time, you're not having my time. Fine. Cool. They'll go find someone else, and that's totally fine. But yeah, that's where it comes down to for me. And if it's going to take more of your time, people are willing to give more than just rev share and give me some of their time. I'm willing to give them more of mine. Be that owning their club. Whatever it might be. Anyway, match analytics then. I like a lot of these because I've been really diving into that.
I was playing with it. These are so cool.
Yeah, because I was gutted. I was gutted when the pass map went. Because I was like, I love the pass map. Where's it gone? So we've got sharper heat maps. You'll see more dimensions in terms of the shots, which have been some really funny ones when it was on the old engine. When you take a shot, the goalkeeper saves it, it just disappears up into the air. And then you see it go out for a throw-in over the stadium, basically. It was hilarious. I can just imagine that the shot would have been taken, someone saved it, and everyone on the pitch just stopped and just went... as the ball disappeared. But the pass map is brilliant. They've got some visual examples for those who haven't seen it yet. We've got ball touches. So this one is passes the player has made. It gives you a breakdown here of the pass, a cross. if it's completed or not, if they've missed, if it's a chance created or they've created assist. You can really see a really strong breakdown here. We've had the shot one, but I don't see anything different about the shot one.
Look at where the goal is.
Yeah. Whereabouts they've scored the goal, that's the bit that's changed. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then we've got the dribble attempts and stuff. So again, all the breakdown here of the ball being received, where they ran with it, shot, pass, cross. Lots of stuff going in there. So there's a lot more analytics to go in there. I'm going to move on from this section. Team instructions. More weight with each section. So each instruction now shifts how your team plays a little bit more than it did. Because this is, I think, a lot of feedback, a lot of people in the experimental testers group when it was first conceived and how we move forward was there's a general perception that we as managers did not believe what we gave as instructions was as impactful and demonstrated on the pitch.
Yeah.
Is the shop synopsis. There's loads of variance in that, but that's the general sort of summary of that. So they've really looked into that. There's been some rewording of some instructions. I think it was less long shots, more long shots than that, and it's now shoot less often, shoot more often, because it was more of an interpretive language divide, I suppose. Because I always forget in some cases, like the team are French and how they would phrase things and how they would summarize, how it would translate into English. There's a bit of a discrepancy there between how we view football and what is considered our interpretation of a football term can be different in different countries. From many different countries. So there was an interesting conversation that came about with that, and I think it was in the off season before this season. There was like a discussion about breakdowns of all the different match instructions and what they pertain to, like a slightly different wording from what you get on site, and it was much better. And I think that got implemented. If I'm not wrong,
it's been in. I can't remember, just after the season started.
You hover over the I next
So
to a
much
tactic,
better.
and you'll see something slightly different. So if you just go to,
it's a lot clearer now. I think all the instructions are a lot clearer now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna just expose this team here because it's the one that's the YTXP Pathways team. So here's his tactic. But if you hover over, and you get that description, they've all been reworded slightly. So I think the clarity there is much better in terms of what to expect from each one. But all the same, we were saying we don't feel like we're getting as much impact from that. What they're going to do now, instead of 3 levels, we're going to have 5 for each of them. So you've got more options. So the increments are a bit smaller, which I think is nice in terms of what we've talked about. Do I want them to shoot less often or shoot more often? Well, maybe actually in some cases, I don't want you to shoot more often, but I want you to take a chance when it's there, just not shoot from anywhere. And sometimes I don't want you to try and warp the ball in. Just wait until you're inside the penalty area to take a shot. And I believe this choice between balanced and less long shots would be that sweet spot for me. And there's an expert mode. So if you don't feel like the 5-6 works, you can get a slide. You can choose to swap it to a slider and slide it up and down. Mm-hmm. So you can really, really fine tune. This is the difficulty modes that I was talking about right at the start of all this. This is how I've perceived all of this. Lots of stuff about the match engine, about the ball carriers, about the turnover issues that we're seeing. It's like the player was driving forward with it, run out of options, and then lose the ball. Yeah. Now, while they're executing that particular move, if they see an option to offload the ball, that will happen in the match engine itself, so it should hopefully decrease the option. So, in my view, it's like that 1-2 idea. When you're going down the line, they pass it to someone inside, they carry on the run they'd already initiated, and hopefully the guy's going to play it to them, or he's going to drag another player out of position.
I'm noticing
opening space.
I'm noticing that a lot in triangles. I'm noticing triangles, a lot of them. It's really fun.
Yeah, you've got the off-ball movements that reflects your width. Defenders are reading runs better, apparently. You've got free kicks deep in your own half. I love this one. It's like there will always be a simple option. They don't just have to take a risky long pass. That's not just the only one. Jumping takes a moment, so they'll have to sort of plant the feet and make the jump. So I suppose it's like those quick reaction headers where the cross gets flashed in and then suddenly they've headed it in. It's like, how the hell did they do that? Did it literally just get fired at their head? We might see less of that potentially. I suppose competing for the balls, if someone's got to the ball early or got a running momentum, I'd like to see.
It would surely give defenders an advantage, which I think they should have in these situations.
Aerially, generally speaking, apart in real world football, that is the case. You do get someone stationary, someone's got momentum, the attacker's got momentum, they might get the ball first, or some strikers are just better in the air, and then your average striker. I think that's all perfectly reasonable. But when we've had seasons past where you're like, corner comes in, and the tiniest players headed it in on the pitch, and you're looking at it and going, "It's surrounded by the land of giants. What happened?" And you go on, you look at the height, and you look at the physical, and go, "What?"
What?
Yeah, and then we've got the ball spins.
Oh yes.
It's purely visual, but it spins. I've liked it on some of the curved passes that you see from time to time. They're quite sweet when you see them. Or you've got the outside the box curlers and you see the ball swimming. That's quite nice to watch on a replay.
You wouldn't
That's
have seen
about it.
it when it was first implemented, would you?
No,
I
no.
didn't mind it massive, but it was. I wouldn't say it was bad, but it was very noticeable, and it was just like
Yeah.
all the time. So they've toned it down a lot. It looks a lot better now. I think it definitely.
Which I think is a good step, definitely. I think it's definitely a good step. So I think in terms of what they fixed, if there is a clearance that now sets up a goal, it counts as an assist.
Nice.
Fine. And players no longer visually teleport when a movement covered too much ground in too little time. I really wish I'd seen teleportation. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I've never seen
Not
that.
seen
I've
that.
never seen that.
My guy's got 99 pace. He literally is teleporting. Look at that. That'd be great. But yeah, that is like a step by step. We've gone through general thoughts, all the changes. I'll be honest, mate. I'm really excited for a lot of this. Is it going to be a lot of work? Potentially, yes. I love setting up clubs, though. I love building my squads. Training as an extra layer to that, great. I'm absolutely going to be holding back some MFL. I say this every season. I'm going to hold back some MFL for these things. I'm not going to buy as many rare player packs as a result. I'm going to sit on some so I can explore that as much as I wish to. It's going to be part of my consideration when building squads. It's going to be part of my consideration of being sporting director for Gully Worlds with Gully World in terms of, okay, what have you got? What do we need to do? How do we do this? So everyone's getting the best what we possibly can perceive we can do. I'm really looking forward to that. It's one of my most favourite parts of the season.
I think this is going to be a season of experimentation because I think I'm going to try stuff just to see.
Yeah,
It might
but
not
that's
be
what
optimal.
I love.
Yeah.
I did that with. I used to do that with Tactics all the time. That was my. I really want to get on my hands on this a bit more. I want to do something. I want to test something. I was going wacky. I was doing this. I was doing that. I've not been able to do that with any sort of gratification for quite a long time. This is going to give me another angle to do it on. Great. I probably arguably have got less time to do it now than I ever have done. But I'm going to still want to carve out time to do it.
Yeah.
I'm still going to be sitting there, potentially not being able to sleep on an evening, going, turn down the brightness.
What,
Just
is it
one
blue
more.
screen?
Just
Blue
one
screen.
more, yeah. Just one more friendly. What does it matter? But what about that tactic? So yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing all that little bit of tinkering and stuff. And I'll be looking at teams and going, you know what, this club, because of how I set it up, I want more training facilities, I want coaches, I want this. Other one, not too concerned.
Yeah,
But I also know, okay, it's a tighter split. I've got my Spark team's got quite a tight rotation split because I've moved things around quite a bit, and I've not got great cover at left mid. Now I can potentially put someone in there who I'm not worried about their progression anymore, but I can help keep them playing more games because I'm going to help them recover a bit more. I'll make them a sub here. Great, perfect. I've got a bit more control again, and that's all I've ever wanted is more control over. Yes, the match engine and my tactics, whether they're good or they're bad, I want more control. I've got even more control outside of that. Great.
yeah.
Perfect for me.
No,
It's not perfect for everyone. And I'm cool
No,
with that. I'm cool
well-
with the fact it's not. And people, there will be naysayers and there's people who are fully on board with this. And I'm fine with that because some people love this match engine. I don't. I've had to accept that.
Crazy.
It is one of those things that change. And I just don't see a scenario at any point where what the team put out there, everyone's going to love because everyone's so passionate and such a good bloody community around it. Everyone's got an opinion. You're not going to please everyone. And trying to, you end up with a Frankenstein of what your product is. You shouldn't do it. So they haven't done it with the match engine as much as I've cried about it for 3 seasons. Fine. Because if they listened to all of us, they'd have a Frankenstein match engine.
Yes.
Kind of do now. But it'd be worse. It would be worse. And I know it would be. And you take the rough with the smooth of these things. So that's where I'm at.
I personally think people just need to calm. It's a big change. It is a massive change. I get it. But humans always freak out at change, obviously. I just think test it out. And I honestly believe mid-season, everyone's going to have been like, oh, okay, I get it now. This isn't actually that bad. I don't think it's going to be the big drastic time sink people think. I think it's going to be the same amount of time, just we do something that different. Because I'm still going to fucking log in onto the website 20 times a day. Anyway, at least now I'll have something to do rather than look at the marketplace or something. I'll have oh, I've got to sort out my fitness right now. I don't think it's going to be the time sink. I think at first it will be, because it's all new, it's all experimental. We're all going to put time. Oh, I need to see if this works. But once we all get into the flow, it'll just be like, oh, this is the new game. I don't think it's going to make anything harder. Honestly,
everyone is going to have on a basic level 2 training groups and the goalkeeper training group. In my view, because I thought about this, if you've got a team, farm, or you're just not wildly invested in anything else, you have one that's balanced for you, general, one that's low intensity as general, and then your goalkeeper, just general, I guess. Unless you've got 2 goalkeepers that arguably could start and you can put it on intensive.
Oh, that's what I was going to think. If you have 2 equal goalkeepers, you put it on fucking intense match rating, because goalkeepers lose energy.
Minimal.
Yeah, so you can,
minimal
if you've
energy.
got 2 equal strength goalkeepers, you can really just, this is my goalkeeper farm team.
And if they get too low, you swap it to low for a couple of days, get them back up and rinse and repeat, so your goalkeepers are getting the bit extra. But if you've got a balanced and a low intensity one, anybody who needs recovery, swap them to low, move them over to balance once they've recovered. And that's, you just rinse and repeat, do that. That's the simplest way to do it. Yeah, it's something else to think about. You could do fuck all and just leave it unbalanced. You don't have to do that. But if you've got tight squads and you don't have lots and lots of players and you're struggling to loan for a certain position, it's another option without having to drastically alter how you play, your formation, your team. It's giving you a bit more control again. Yes, it requires a bit more effort and time, but you've got more control up for it. Especially people are trying to caveat the great purge of MFL players with retirements and stuff, and people are struggling for players. It's another tool to your arsenal. I just there's a lot of pros to take from it, but I do believe you need to take some time to digest it and just sit with it. Just sit with it. I keep getting grand ideas. I'll be in the shower and I'll get a random idea. I'm like, okay, I can't do it now. I need to wait until I've got out of the shower. But I do want to go play around with that idea now, because there's so many things perceptually you now can do.
Yeah.
And if you've got more clubs, you've got even more flexibility to try different things. So yeah, I'm sure people have thoughts on this, and we do welcome input, thoughts, or otherwise. I know we're seeing it from time to time, and I think it's healthy that we've got this back and forth between everyone, where people are going, what about this? What about that? So there's still conversations going on in the questions for the pod piece that I put in here earlier. There's a lot of them about Root showing him either playing with Hudders in some capacity and or showing certain parts of his anatomy to Hudders. I'm not really sure what's going on. So we're just going to skip over that bit. But we do have some community questions. So I'm going to share screen. So everyone's going to be doxed all of a sudden, named and shamed. But we'll go through it. So I put it out in terms of like what's going to be going on in here. So the first question from Hitman was, what do you think its way to go... Is this Blades?
No, I don't think it's English first language.
Oh, yeah, fair enough then. So what do you think is the way to go for big galleries in terms of clubs owned with subs, which I think are great? Rosters have to be at least 20 to 22 people to stay competitive. How you think it will affect loan market, and how a big of an average drop you expect in division like Iron and Stone? These are the 3 questions in one. Fair enough. I've gone back and forth on this one. Like, do I expect it to be a big drop in Ironstone? I think we'll still see a slight increase in terms of farm teams. I think that's just on the rise at the moment, while people are going, down place for now, I'm just going to farm the MFL while I drop down, until I'm able to sort of find that balance at equilibrium of where my agency's at. I think we're going to see more and more of that. What I can also potentially perceive is people moving a team that they might have competed in Iron with, going, cheaper to do all the training stuff in Stone.
Yeah.
And moving them all to Stone to do the training pieces and stuff. I can see that perceptually. Or a team you might go, I'm going to scrap in Ice with this team. Or I can move them to Flint and Spark and get all these benefits instead. I can see both ends of that one, so I don't see it being that. And from everything I've read about energy, the training recovery options, XP and what the impact is of subs anyway, and if they change or not. I don't believe people have to have 20 to 22 players. I don't.
I
I
don't think you
think
have to.
dual position players, are going to be worth
Super important.
even more,
Yeah,
even more. So those are the sorts of players you want to be keeping an eye on when you are potentially moving them on, unless you're selling them to me. But you want to keep an eye on a bit more, or equally if you've got them, making sure you make use of them and consider their value in that regard. And as you said before, Bruce, about the tombstone guys,
they're going to have value. They're going to have a lot of value. Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. For filling up an extra roster spot or just covering, and you're not going to have the major issues in terms of the energy depletion if they just play 25 minutes every game.
Yeah, exactly. Well, theoretically, they shouldn't lose any energy.
No, and you've just got consistent use out of them. And then if you did have a scenario where they need to start a game, you'd have to play them for a full game.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool. And you can put them on low intensity training around that time period as well.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think it's giving more options for folk. I think bigger galleries. I think if you're looking at your trusts,
I can sort of talk on this because I'm in.
okay,
I'm obviously in a Discord with Trust and Ron John, and they're going through it at the minute. And Trust's already the way he's looked at it is like he's gonna have to go to 20 to 21 man squads. I won't share too
right,
much of what you've said, Trust. Don't worry. But and he's looking at possible rotations, and the way he's looking at it that I can see is he's sort of like he's got a instead of an ABC, he's got an ABCD, and
yeah,
it's switching between like more than one formation. Though again, I think like what you're saying, I don't actually think people are going to need to run bigger squads. It's just going to take a little bit more thought. I just think because someone like Trust or Ron John, they have so many clubs, they
yeah,
don't have the time for that little bit of extra thought. They're probably going to have to go to this 2022 to make life easier for them. Um,
yeah.
is what it looks like. But yeah, I don't think everybody's going to have to go to 2022. I don't think so at all. I think
No,
we already talked about the loan market.
yeah,
It's going to affect it if you're just going out looking for loans on the scouting network. Life's going to be hard. Get into Discords, get networking with people because it'll be a lot easier if you can just chat to someone to get the loans you need rather than go because the scouting network, especially this season 17, is going to be fucking brutal. It is going. I could already foresee it. It's gonna be brutal. This
know that your biggest when you're doing that, know that your bigger agencies are going to get this question that you're going to ask them 1,000 times over. So don't be surprised if you don't hear anything. They can't possibly make time for everyone. And if you do go to someone, be quite specific. Even having
yes,
had a look for a player and go, this player, I'm interested in learning this guy. This is the club you'd be going into. Ideally, you've already got a couple of players or you're lining up. So I'm looking to line up more loans. This is who I've currently got potentially as a green light, basically, but I'm looking to get some more players around it. Be as helpful with information when requesting a loan as opposed to, have you got any players? Yeah, I've got loads, thanks.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, there literally needs to be that sort of that you've put some time and effort into it. Not have you got anything that you can just chuck my way? I know some people who come to me and go, "Have you got any players for loan?" And I go, "Hang on a minute, okay, what club and what do you need?" Because you need to give me those parameters first, and then we can go from there. And like I couldn't help someone out last season, so I made sure I helped them out this season with a
Yeah,
couple of loans. I made sure I did that this time round. But as to how much I'll loan out next season, I need to get my head around squad building first and the training aspect part of it when I'm building my
yeah,
squads and going, okay, who do I feel comfortable loaning out and where would they be going to? So
yeah.
yeah, so we've got Sacco as your favourite person in the Discord. Unless I'm mistaken, training as a result of progression of the players you loan out is now going to be the hands who run the club. Yeah, I agree. We mentioned that already. Meaning now that your own player's progression isn't something in your control. Should definitely think about this. People loan people out to help with progression. People loan people in to win. Surely the people loaning in will just stick all these players on low intensity trainers that always be fit rather than prioritise progression. This will surely murder the auto accept side of the loan market because you're not going to want your players going somewhere you can't guarantee them good training. Absolutely. You
Yeah,
will
I
notice on
agree.
auto accept the percentages are ludicrous because people are just putting fish out there, casting the line and going, wonder who's going to take a bite.
Yeah,
But if
yeah,
you're doing that, you're not bothered apart from maybe the number of matches and the percentage penalties, you're not bothered. You're not bothered about that because I just want them to go somewhere. If I've got a player and I want him to go out loan, I want him to be the best sort of environment, or he's going to someone I know and I trust.
Yeah.
Networking. You've got to be networking. That's the only way to do this to make it go forward. Because I agree. Sometimes you will be loaning people in because I need to fill out my squad so I can compete.
Yeah.
So how much your guy plays isn't as a massive prerogative to me. I just need that body to be more competitive. There's some ways around that with the training things that we've spoken about. This is why you need to be confident in who you're sending people to, because they're your asset. They are tethered to a certain monetary value that can go up, but realistically is only ever going to depreciate because there's a time limit on it. So you want someone looking after that. It's like an investment. You're not going to hand it to a bad investor.
Yeah. It's going to be. I think the auto set will probably be a lot more older guys, where the progression they don't care, and it'll probably be like, okay, that's your auto set, go on. And maybe the younger guys, people are going to hold on a little bit. Maybe I can put him in my own squad because I can progress him myself. Like, I think.
Yeah, I think loan percentages are going to continue to arise. They already were because people are after players. So where there's demand, there's people who are looking to profit from that. Obviously, it's going to get worse.
100%. Yeah, this
It's
one
going
is
to get
going to
worse.
be
I
brutal.
know it is.
Strap in, get ready. This one is going to be brutal if you need to learn.
Because I mean, solid lads. Next one. So now plans for our own galleries. Seeing a few saying they'll be selling off one of their top sides or just resorting to farming. I think that is a question for a lot of people. Like, if you've got a team in gold that you've got there and you go, I can't sustain a gold, I don't want to throw more money at it, and my rewards aren't going to cover it, then you have to have that consideration of, okay, do I want the MFL return from that or not? Because if I want MFL return, realistically, I'm going to have to farm it.
Yeah.
If I'm not bothered about that, I'm just wanting to compete as high as possible. It's network, loan, who can help me sustain this club in this position. So more attractive proposition to the bigger agencies if you're able to go, I'll give you this hefty chunk of MFL, a percentage of my club, if I can loan in a squad.
Yeah.
Basically, I've done it before. That Keto team, I did it with Ron John. He loaned me a squad. I think he 85% I think he took of the club, and I was cool with that. I didn't have a team.
Did the same with me.
Totally fine. All good. But yeah, with mine, I'm just continuing the same vein of rare players. I'm stocking up on rare players till the cows come home right now. I'm just filling bodies in that middle part of the agency, and where they land is where they land. And realistically, it will then determine the landscape for my own clubs as to how high they'll compete for how long as a result of. However, the market ecosystem pans out, hence not going straight into Lego, because the fact I can get 5 rares for the price of 1 Lego, I can do a lot more with 5 rares than 1 Lego.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with it now. So yeah, Hitman, do you think people now pay to loan guys in certain clubs with high level new additions?
Ooh, how would they do that though? Is it that's actually viable if someone
can loan your guy and I'll buy your shitter for insert amount of money? I suppose is where we'd be going with that one. Potentially. I've seen deals being done where it's like, okay, I'm going to put this staff member on this club for this amount of percent, and I'm not going to give them any responsibilities. It's literally, I'm going to give you this amount of rev share for whatever deal is taking place. It's part of the negotiation chip, basically, if it's for a player or whatever. There's lots of new ones there, but it's like all these extra additions we had over the last couple of seasons are all sort of circling back in on themselves as potential options, and the savvy big agencies are making use of all these different options and offering attractive propositions. So I think I said near the start of the pod, I've got a certain amount of rare player packs and a silver license coming away in the season because they were part of negotiations, because I opened the floor to them. It was like, do you want this amount or can we be flexible? I was like, we can be flexible on how, but the overall value, not really, because I think it's very competitive. But we can stagger it, we can do this, we can do that. So as I say, I'm getting a silver license. Do I think I can fill it with a competitive team? No.
Still,
I'll decide what to do with it when I've got all my... Because I've got another club. But rather than going to get a stone and iron club, I've got a silver license to consider. So that's how I'm viewing that one. So yeah, there's questions about you knowing things before anyone else. Apparently, when do we expect the show to go out? It's going out to this morning. Basically, when you're watching it, that's when it's going out. Do you guys think people are overacting to the changes? Yes.
Yeah, I do. I honestly do.
I feel like I've read through that entire update 2 or 3 times now, and I still had a few. I'm not sure about that question. I've read it and I've not processed it properly. But I think it's very obvious sometimes when people are sort of flying off the handle, they either A, haven't read it fully, or they haven't thought about it.
Yeah, yeah.
They've thought about it at such a superficial level that it's like, I can counter your obvious outrage with this,
Yeah, yeah.
with this. Doesn't mean I'm right, but that's how I'm viewing it. So yeah, I've seen others talking about needing bigger squads. Talked about that. And players progression much faster, but it seems to me that it will actually have a small impact. They'll just get there sooner.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all it'll mean. So that's the same as dev jail. They'll get to their ultimate. They'll get to their highest potential sooner in theory because they're getting it 25% sooner if they're 25% faster if they have been in for 4 years. That's it.
It's
So you
not
can have
gonna
someone who
change their
absolutely
potential.
flies.
Not going to
No,
change the potential, nothing like that. Nothing changes. And you can also
no.
fuck up where you put a guy in for shooting training and he's not got any more points in shooting that he's going to get. So that's it. You've wasted it. Like,
Oh, it might be that he's got for the rest of his career he's got 10 more plus ones.
yeah,
You're choosing what they'll go into. Hopefully, you're increasing the odds of it going into a category that you want it to. But once he's got those 10 stats, he won't improve
that's it.
anymore. So
Yeah,
if he gets 70, he gets 7 more stats, 70%. So 70% of the stats going to shooting, the other 3 going to something else. That's where he's at.
mm,
Might mean he's either more usable. Maybe he might have been capped at an 83 as a sort of well-rounded. You've managed to stuff him into an 84, but he's not very well-rounded. He's a one-trick pony. I
yeah,
can see scenarios like that, but then you're spinning the roulette wheel, hoping that you're going to keep hitting black every single. No, that doesn't work. Keep hitting your number time and time again for shooting. It's not guaranteed. You're just increasing the chance and the weighting odds of it going towards a stat you want. Which cool, all good. Because also that only talks about training. One thing we've thought about is match XP. So
I
match
imagine that'll
XP
just be
would
the same.
still, it will be the same. So if the guy's only got 10 more plus ones, and you're hoping from training, if he gets any plus ones, it's got a greater chance of going to the stat you've asked it to. But after matches, of those in that scenario of the striker with 10 more potential plus just 1 to stats, not OVR, if he gets 50% of them from the matches and 50% from the training, of the 5 that he got from training, you've got a greater chance of hitting shooting. From the match,
It's the same. Yeah.
could be anything.
Yeah,
Could be
yeah.
anything. So it's all if buts and maybes, but it could be like that defender that we've just moved to YTXP. His pace is phenomenal now for his rating. His defense is pretty good for it. His physical's not where I want it to be. I'd be looking at that going a bit more weighting towards his physical. Yeah, why not? I'm not going to neglect the other core stats, but I want his physical to
Yeah.
hopefully go up, and I'm willing to pay a bit more to get his training umphed a bit. So maybe he'll just keep ticking over. No guarantee he would. He
No.
might still continue in shooting. He loves his shooting. This seems like one you've already answered, but we'll ask it, Bruce, super quick. So it's a rank these subs in MFL, subbing to YTXP on YouTube, well played. Subway, Bruce's subpar performance in Diamond, subtitles.
Okay, so number 1 is obviously sub to YTXP on YouTube. If you haven't already, do it because that's number 1. That's top of the list.
Yeah, if you have and you're not listening to this, fuck off.
Next is subs in MFL because I think it's something we've needed for fucking ages. I'll put subtitles because I do like watching Japanese films, so sometimes I need them. I'm not completely fluent, so subtitles goes there. Subway, there's too much bread. I'm not a massive fan of Subway. Too much bread. And 5th is Bruce's subpar performance in Diamond. Like I said, it's on par. My performance is the definition of on par. Like, I am exactly where that team is supposed to be. If I get out of relegation, I've smashed it. Like, yeah. Fuck you, Rory. When am I playing you in Diamond this season, Rory? Wait, when do we play? Oh, which game? Which game do I play you on, Rory? Oh.
I think at some point, rather than you wearing your MFL shirt for the pod, you're gonna have to get this printed on a T-shirt and start wearing that when you come on the pod. Like, just put 10th strongest team in division. Done. And then Root can come on with his how much OVR difference between clubs, which again we could dive into if we want, but let's not go there now. Let Root come on the pod and defend himself at the same time with this one.
I could see him typing. Where is he? I could see him fucking typing there.
He wasn't allowed to come on tonight, remember? I know, to be fair, I know he's getting his arse ridden with work at the moment. I did message him and it's been just relentless for him, silly hours he's having to do. But I think as a result, quite rightly, his missus was like, well, I would like to see you at some point. So I didn't think he couldn't quite swing going then to do the podcast, which is fair. It's the same reason we didn't record last night because it wouldn't have been fair on my partner. So I'm all good.
Yeah, we had Root last night. We had Root last night. But
you and Root were available. I wasn't. Tonight it was you and I were available. Root might be available. That's why Root's not here. So I'm not going to give him too much shit. I'd like to keep the podcast going. Let's have a look. Have we got any more questions? Or did they? Rate it out of 10. Welcome back, lads. Anyway,
it's not bad, is it? It's not as good as that one.
It's not, but
it's not as good as that one.
I would say it is pretty high out of 10.
It's good.
If you bought it yourself, Hudders. If Root bought it for you and sent it to you, then not good.
Yeah,
not good.
We need to know.
I do need to know the answer to that, Root. Sorry, Hudders, did you buy it or did it get bought for you by your co-host? Because if it did, Anyway, hang on a minute. What's this? There's only 1.5 difference on the best 16 between 1st and 12th, though.
That's a lie.
Cool.
Quito mercenary. Look, Quito mercenary and nowhere near that.
If you had to swap bodies with another member, like some Freaky Friday stuff, who would it be and why?
Fucking Sacco, you're disgusting. Sacco, you are disgusting. You are disgusting, bro.
Oh, your partner's gonna love that. That's a great shout. I can't believe he's just come back so quickly with that one. Anyway, I'm a bit confused. Like, I was thinking, does it have to be like on the member of the pod, member of the community? I don't know what half the people look like. I'm good there.
Yeah, I'm alright with me.
Yeah.
I think.
Tell you what, I don't want to be.
What?
I don't want to be Root's cushions.
No.
Did you have an answer there before I interrupted?
I think I'd like to know what it's like to be a footballer. I think
okay.
That's something, go into a footballer's body, live as a footballer for a bit, just to see, because that's something I've always fucking wanted to do. I think something like that would be cool. Also, maybe a woman for a day, just to see what it's like.
So yeah, Root's follow-up was that, do I have to live in their house or just be them for a day? The whole shebang, their house, their bodies, their daily tasks, etc. Even sleep with their partner too. Hang on a minute, I know what Root's answer is going to be in a second. You got me. I'm 6'3". Bruce would be Big Spoon.
Oh, you guys are disgusting. You guys are disgusting.
I think Matt maybe they'll be the one who shouldn't cross. Okay, I don't know. Bet he takes the bins out too, to be fair.
No, let's stop with this conversation.
Okay, well, he's basically saying, actually, if he was your missus, he shouldn't have to loan players, she just gets yours. So he's like, I can just get all the players for next season.
Mate, so there's getting to a point where, like, she bought a new team, like a Flint team with a promo, filled it completely with my players. I'm like, babe, this has to stop. Like, you can't keep buying teams when you don't have players.
Can I not be Bruce Lee just for one day? I can finally win a game. There you go, that's a nice one. I will help you win a game so you don't have to be him and pick someone else to be. Win-win, lucky you. I also wanted to play with... Yeah, I think so. I also wanted to play with long hair. Trust me, wearing a wig for 8 minutes a match last... Okay, whatever. Anyway, were there actually any more questions, or we're just
I don't
slowly
know.
going through? This could be a pod in
Oh,
itself.
Saka! Shout out, Man City fan wanting to be a Man United fan. Good call, Saka. Good
Uh
call.
oh. Uh oh.
Uh-oh. Did you see what we did in the Discord? It was like in the lower league D Gents Discord. It was a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, get a tattoo for a rare pack, and a couple of people suggested like the Penis Elite Nostalgia Icons logo.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what about how serious are we with this? Because hated, adored, never ignored, United. I'd pay a rare pack for that. I'd absolutely, but no, he wouldn't. He's a pussy. He won't do it.
Oh dear. Oh dear. One thing I will put out, everyone, is we've got no dino races because Root hasn't done it.
No,
So we don't have no dino
I
races.
don't.
So
We even
GeoGuessers,
had a GeoGuessr.
Flame Root.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was on Amreeze's. Hammer is diligent with sorting it out, which is Root. Couldn't be asked turning up, so we haven't got one. So, sorry everyone, we haven't got one. All good. So, I think that takes us close to the 2 hour mark, so I think we should probably wrap things up there. The aim is this will be out on Friday morning. I'll just have to see how far I can get with getting it all sorted, but probably get it turned around pretty quick. But mate, yeah, it's been a good one. There's been a lot to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot to go through. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm kind of looking forward to 2 weeks' time. As long as I get to a point where I'm content with what I've managed to achieve for Soul, for Bob's sake, this season, I can live with anything else this season, basically, because everything else is ticking along quite nicely. That's the one thing that I just want to get right. That's the only thing I want to get right.
What's he wanting? Because he can't be expecting a title, surely. I imagine not.
I think you have to approach every season realistically, but at the same time, if you have got in Diamond and you've got a competitive squad, you should be aiming to win the league. Like, it is what it should be. Realistically, now where we are at this point, well, I suppose not to say I'm not going to be big-headed, but I literally have been further behind before, and I actually won it.
And you won it. Yeah, that's very true.
But there were some little variables in there, like Meta being way ahead, and Ronan not being as available as he once was. So there are some little caveats going on there with that one at the same time. But I'm not adding asterisks to my own title. Sorry, I'm not going to trifle with my own title. I'm not going to trifle with my own trophy.
Diamond trifle.
But realistically, I want to be as high up the table as I possibly can, get as far as I can in Titans, because Bob needs that MFL continually coming in to help him sustain. And we've got arguably 2 teams at the top of the table that I could easily support to win the title. You got Salt and you've got LG for Sid. I can't choose between the 2 of them in a fair manner, but if I had to edge it, and I will give an answer, it is Salt. Just for the journey that it's been on, and it'd also theoretically go one step further than Dio's because it started in Flint.
He did.
And it's gone up, win, win. And I think Brian, given the challenges with this engine, is doing a cracking job.
100%.
Cracking job.
He just hates Sabina.
He does.
But he killed it in the cup. Sabina's killing it in the cup.
If you want to have a summary of how good a job he's doing in Diamond, Brian is conceded 1 goal in the league.
In Diamond is insane.
And he's still top of the table.
Yeah.
And I will give Max his credit as well. He is a great manager and he's very tactically astute across many formations. And I don't think you can ignore your Dios and your Kevs at this point, because it's between them 4 in my view at this stage. Kev has had a bit of a bad bounce recently in terms of the coin flip. And Dio is Dio. He had that bit of a wobbly start and then he's just gone win. His last 5 games is draw, win.
Yeah.
So you can't count anyone out. Yeah, he is. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting end. We'll keep a tab on that as we move forward. Hopefully we'll be back next week with a full contingent, all 3 of us. But thanks for tuning in this week, guys. If you've got any thoughts on the feedback on anything we discussed in tonight's recording, do let us know in the Discord, because we're totally up for chatting about it. Just because we think it's great and we think all the positives there doesn't necessarily you do. And I think it's important that this sort of dialogue and discourse goes in the MFL general in a constructive manner. And if there's anything on the match engine or the new features that you've tested and you've got feedback that'll be good, bad, or indifferent, you get yourself in the experimental testers chat, because the more we are giving them constructive feedback, the more to work. Just don't go in there and whinge. It's the wrong channel for it. It doesn't help, because then your Quintons and that can't fine tune and drill down into the feedback. So do get yourselves in there if you can. But thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.